Athletes often take that saying, treat your body like a temple, to a whole new level. Many of the pro sports stars we look up to have body routines that we couldn't even imagine. These days, keeping up with the best comes with a big price tag. So who else should we look to for the gold standard than the king himself? This is how LeBron spends $1.5 million on his body each year.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
Number 4. Cryotherapy. Cryotherapy, literally meaning cold therapy, is relatively new to the United States, popping up about 10 years ago. That being said, the modern therapy originated in 1970s Japan and has quickly become one of the more popular treatments amongst athletes and stars alike. The idea is that the low temperatures, sometimes as extreme as negative 230 degrees Fahrenheit, will relieve the body of muscle pain, sprains, and swelling after soft tissue damage or surgery. Cryotherapy chambers have become very popular, though the treatment can technically be in the form of ice packs or immersion in ice baths. The science is still out on whether or not this process is effective. This therapy is also used to treat cancers like prostate cancer. Dermatologists also use this process to treat abnormal skin cells. The benefits come with a side effect, as it sometimes leaves numbness, tingling, or other sensations in the skin. But for James, the treatment is often used to deaden a particular irritated nerve of his. He uses what is commonly referred to as WBC, or whole body cryotherapy, in which he stands in a chamber with his head exposed. His treatments reportedly last around 3 minutes at about negative 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, LeBron isn't the only one to turn to cryotherapy. Peers such as Stephen Curry, Karl Anthony Towns, and Blake Griffin also regularly use whole body cryotherapy treatments after rigorous games. These kinds of treatments can cost upwards of $100 a session. That being said, LeBron has his own whole-body cryotherapy chamber in his house, which costs thousands upon thousands of dollars for the initial purchase and then maintenance. Number 3. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Often referred to as HBOT, hyperbaric oxygen therapy has been around for some time. Of course, its use for athletes on a regular basis or anyone who isn't necessarily sick is quite modern. The cost of the therapy can be insane and requires the use of a chamber that is unbelievably expensive. Once inside the chamber, the machine creates atmospheric pressure greater than the sea level. Due to this high pressure, you start breathing more oxygen and normal air pressure, which produces deep oxygenating effects and reduces inflammation in the body. It is said to treat a lot of illnesses. These illnesses include a whole range of things, from asthma to even cancer. The use of these machines for athletes has become more and more common. A few years ago, Terrell Owens of the Philadelphia Eagles used a hyperbaric chamber to recover from a severely sprained ankle and fractured fibula. It allowed him a speedy recovery so he could come back and play in the Super Bowl at that time. For LeBron, the hyperbaric therapy was critical in recovering from a groin injury last year. The increased oxygen allowed more blood flow to injured areas, which increased recovery time. Many studies have inconclusive data on whether these chambers are actually effective or not. For the elite athletes that can't afford these types of treatments, any edge over their opponent gets them one step closer to that championship win. These kinds of treatments can cost thousands of dollars. They are definitely particular, and not every athlete will have the opportunity to use them. But for the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that just walked away with the NBA championship this year, it's clear that the best of the best is necessary for a star player like LeBron James. Number 2. Normatec leg boots. For a certain massage treatment, LeBron owns a pair of Normatec leg boots, which creates a massage pattern. It is somewhat of a leg recovery system that helps his legs stay strong. In this piece of equipment, the boots inflate and take a certain posture against your body to help you massage those areas. They get attached in the exact shape to the places in your body, such as legs, hips, and arms. So, how do the Normatec boots work? Well, the $5,000 Pro version that LeBron has two main attributes. One, the ability to focus pulsing on one of 5 zones, foot and ankle, calf, knee, quad, and some of the hip, and 2, precise levels of pressure ranging from 1 to 10. After setting the variables, it does all the work for the player. It also features unique calibrated technology, meaning when you first put them on, they'll fill you out and custom mold to your legs. These days, many NBA players use the Normatec boots from 20 minutes to an hour, sometimes 3 times a day, including before shoot-around, right after the game, and then later at night at home. While some players apply the boots for about 10 minutes during halftime, Jacobs hasn't seen anyone yet on the bench pumping during the action. Jacobs noted that players can't overuse the product. LeBron James and Kevin Durant were some of the first players to use the Normatec boots. Their photos of using the equipment quickly went viral online and became almost a trend in the NBA. At this point, many top-level players complain that not having the boots makes them look bad. The effectiveness of the boots are clear, but it has also become somewhat of a status symbol against the top NBA players. Of course, with status also comes a big price tag. Number 1. LeBron James's diet. LeBron James has his own group of personal chefs who cook the food the way he likes it. Personal chefs available at any time can cost thousands upon thousands of dollars across an entire year. This is probably the biggest chunk out of his $1.5 million body budget. Talking about his diet, he doesn't eat sugar, carbs, or dairy, and is known to follow the lowest possible carb diet. He went on a 67-day abstinence from these products in 2014. He voluntarily cuts out food groups to help keep in shape. James does have his cheat days where he splurges on red meat and a lot of sugar. And while you might not agree with this insane amount of spending, it's clear that LeBron is getting back what he's invested. At this point, the star athlete is widely considered one of the greatest players of all time. In 2016, James spoke with Business Insider about how he fuels up before game time. He was quoted as saying, "Before a competition, for me it would be like a chicken breast and maybe a little pasta. The carbs help because you're going out and playing a lot of minutes," he said. "But a salad and some veggies will have me perfectly fine. And before the game, I might have a protein shake and some fruit, and I'll be ready to go." After the game or in between workouts, he's putting down a lot more calories, but he prefers to keep it somewhat light before playing. The NBA star slightly changes his approach when it's playoffs time. He was quoted as saying, "The thing that I started cutting down is the sugars. When it comes to the playoffs, it kind of slows down the process of recovery. Throughout the regular season, it's okay to have a little bit of it. But in the postseason, optimal recovery. Whoever can recover the fastest from game to game is going to put themselves in position to be successful the next game," he said during a video on his Interrupted platform. "So the sugars, I kind of cut out, but the carbs, I kind of ramp up, because you're losing so many calories. You're burning so many calories, burning all your energy throughout those games. So I kind of go heavy on the carbs because it gives you energy. It's worked for me." Of course, even this pro athlete has his comforts. For LeBron James, he's huge on wine and is known to be somewhat of a wine supercomputer amongst his NBA peers. While studies differ, most doctors agree that when consumed in moderation, red wine has health benefits, from increasing your levels of good HDL cholesterol to lowering your risk of heart attack. Hence why James often hashtags his wine photos, #GoodForMyHeart. Besides wine, LeBron James is also an investor in Blaze Pizza, meaning he indulges in that as well. On his cheat days, he's known to pick up a pizza from Blaze with a whopping 16 toppings on it, including everything from turkey meatballs, banana peppers, to an olive oil drizzle. In all, LeBron spends an insane amount of money on what he's putting into his body. Most would agree that this makes sense, as this will have a direct impact on his performance on and off the court. $1.5 million may seem like a lot, but for a pro player who makes $37 million a year, not including $50 million some odd dollars from endorsements, $1.5 million is a drop in the bucket. What do you think? Is LeBron spending too much? Let us know in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a like, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. This has been our breakdown of how LeBron spends $1.5 million on his body each year.